What's going on, everyone? We have the TFT patch notes for patch 12.20. I believe this is going to be the last big patch that they're going to do for this set, because the next few patches they're going to be playing the World Championships on them, so that's why they can't make too many changes after this one. So this one's definitely one to pay attention to right now. So they're adding in a new Chibi Dragonmancer. It's going to be Ash, and the regular Ash. That's kind of cool. Will be interesting to see what her kill animation will be. But system changes. So they removed the 5 gold drops from blue orbs, and then this is a pretty big change because a lot of players complain about this drop. And yeah, hopefully that makes it better, like when you start out in the game during stage 1. Treasure Dragon, they've adjusted a few extreme cases and making them less extreme. And then clamped health bars. Unit health bars now stay on screen when units are fighting near the top edge of the screen. Okay, yeah, I did notice that too. Like sometimes you have a assassin that jumps to the back and you can't see their health bar because it's behind the scoreboard. And then now onto the large changes. Traits, Cavalier Armor and Magic Resistance are being buffed a little bit at pretty much all levels except for the last tier for Cavaliers. I have been noticing people aren't playing Cavaliers as much as other stuff right now, so definitely welcome change there. And I'm talking about like the deep Cavaliers going into like maybe 4 or 5 Cavaliers. Obviously it's still done every now and then, but not as much as I saw in like previous patches. Dragonmancer bonus ability power is being buffed actually. Interesting. I thought people thought Dragonmancer was good, but they're buffing it. They must have some reason for this. Maybe after we read everything, we'll find out why. Guild, because they don't really talk about it in here. Guild, maybe they do. I don't see anything. Guild attack speed's being reduced. That's a Twitch bonus. And then same with the Omnivamp from the emblem, 4 to 3%. Guild multiplier is also being decreased at very high guild. So the last two, 8 and 7 guild, are being nerfed very slightly. Jade statue attack speed is being nerfed pretty handedly at 5 Jade, that is. And staying the same everywhere else. Ragewing attack speed being buffed at 12 Ragewing, I believe that is. And then same with the Omnivamp. I don't know why this is a large change, because when do we ever play that? This should be in the small changes, but who really cares? Units tier 1, Senna getting... Ooh, that's a pretty sizable buff. I already thought Senna was a really good item holder, but they're also increasing her damage at 3-star. So maybe reroll Senna? Is that in the cards right now? 12 Rage Ring, reroll Senna? We'll have to see. Tier 2, ZAC's unstable current percent max health damage is being buffed by a ton. I did hear about this buff as a rumor before, but holy cow, it's like literally double. I wanted to see a Dragonmancer ZAC build, so I think we might be able to see it now. The Dragonmancer thing only increases his healing. I don't think it affects his damage scaling, but it still would be interesting. So onto the units tier 3. Namzi fireball damage is being decreased a little bit. Evoker Namzi Lulu Whimsy attack speed buff is being increased by 10% at all levels, and then Cannoneer being buffed from 0.7 to 0.75 attack speed, and then the bonus attack damage from being friends with Tristana is also being increased a little bit. Okay, that's good. They're a little friendly with each other. But yeah, Mage Namzi, definitely the best Namzi variant, and everything else was very lackluster, so it's good that they make this change here, make the other Namzis a bit more playable. I actually did a video on Mage Namzi, like only playing Mage Namzi. You guys can check that out. I'll try to leave a card here. But I was pretty much like forcing it in a couple of games. Rengar, mana nerf. Okay, yeah. Everyone's playing Rengar right now. He's like the degenerate comp of last patch, so yeah, makes sense that he gets nerfed a bit. He's also getting his AD ratio for his ability nerfed at 1 and 2 stars. 3 stars being unchanged though, but obviously takes more mana for him to get off. Volibear, pretty sizable mana buff, so he'll activate really quickly. Is this actually gonna make him viable? Do they even want Volibear to be viable? That's my question too, because there are some champions that they don't really care that much about being viable at like super high levels of play, as long as it's like still playable at lower levels. But Volibear, we'll have to see. He is definitely like really lackluster. He got buffed in the previous patches, and everyone was still like, yeah, he's probably the worst unit still, but we'll have to see. Tier 4, Deja Windblast damage is being nerfed at 2 and 3 star. Makes sense. Deja was pretty strong last patch. Pantheon, Aegis Assault, nerfed a little bit. Pantheon's just been must play if you ever have like a Whisper or Warrior in your team, which ends up being a lot of comps because a lot of people run like Zyra and stuff like that. So yeah, Pantheon was like One of those like 4-cost units that belonged in so many different compositions. Soam Tide Blossom detonation damage is being nerfed a little bit, and then Siphon max mana nerf as well. Okay, so Siphon's second and beyond casts are going to be slightly slower now. Now on to tier 5, Aoshin, mana nerf, Zoe, mana nerf as well, and Terra, health nerf. So they're nerfing a lot of the late game bombs. So for Zoe, man, she really is a very big power spike for any mage comp. It makes sense, but maybe they need to put power into the other mages, because I feel like a mage comp with and without Zoe are like worlds apart. Augments, we have Beast Den, attack and movement speed being reduced a bit. A lot of people didn't know that Beast Den was actually pretty OP. The reason is because you don't even need shapeshifters to be active. You just need to have a shapeshifter out there. And also it works really good with like Xayah comps because they run like Shyvana and stuff like that. But you could also like run like an actual shapeshifter comp anyways. But yeah, it's just a lot of attack speed for pretty much a free augment. Built different, you can no longer be offered multiple, yeah. Wow, this is a big change. So I don't know if you guys know, but I did a built different video of like climbing from Diamond to Masters, and I looked at the data. If you get 2 built different augments, your average placement goes from like 4.2 or something like that to like 2.2. It literally just guarantees you a top 2 if you ever get multiple built different. So I'm glad that they removed that. Cutthroat remove. You essentially like I could have AFK'd in the game, like not buy another unit, and I probably would have gone like 4th or something like that after getting the second built different. But if you play it, then I got first, you know. But I'm pretty sure you could just AFK once you get 2 built difference. Cutthroat being removed. Darkflight Crown now grants Titan's Resolve instead of Protector's Vow. Double Trouble. Wait, I wonder why they did this. I feel like it should give an aura item. But I guess Titans makes sense on a bunch of different dudes as well. It really just Swain. That feels weird. Maybe they could have made this like a ZZ Rot for the fun of it, you know? I really wonder, what's like the stereotypical Darkflight item? I actually don't really know. Double Trouble, bonus 80 AP and armor, and MR is being nerfed slightly. Yeah, this was really good with the Rengar comp, so lots of nerfs of Rengar here. You can no longer be offered multiple tiers of Double Trouble. Same thing with the, what's it called, the build different stuff. And then Gadget Expert. Oh, but one interaction that no one really talks about that much is that Double Trouble plus build different complement each other really well. So you can still get both build different and Double Trouble. You just can't get multiple of the same copies, but they still work really well together because you could run duplicate copies in build different comps. In fact, you're encouraged to. And that just makes the team even stronger if you get these 2 combined. Gadget Expert, direct damage bonus, true damage is being reduced by a little bit. Jade Crest has been removed. Mage Crown now grants Lux instead of Silas. Did it really offer Silas before? I swear it granted Lux already. If it did offer Silas, that is insane because he is like the most important mage unit because he's your tank. Personal Training now grants a Jax instead of an Olaf. And then Portable Forge, Collector, Gold Chance is being nerfed a little bit. Infinity Edge being nerfed as well. Azonia's Parrot. Okay, they're nerfing a bunch of Portable Forge stuff. It is one of the more consistent augments because it belongs in every comp because you get a bunch of choices. And because it's a flexible augment, it definitely has been outperforming a lot of the other flexible ones as well. I guess there's like a tiny bit of risk whenever you take Portable Forge, so you should be rewarded for that because sometimes you could just get 3 dead items, or I think it gives 3 options. Maybe it gives 4. But if you ever do get a dead option, it is kind of like a risk, but most of the time it's extremely good. At Preparation, champions will now start at 1 stack, and then the health per stack is being reduced, same with the attack damage and ability power, so they're making it less snowbally, because now it's like less risk, less reward. And then Scope Weapons 2 no longer grants 10% bonus attack speed. Think Fast no longer offered on Stage 2-1. Fun fact, Think Fast was the highest win rate augment on Stage 2-1. There wasn't one that was higher than that. And you just like roll for astrals on 2-1 and you get all your gold back and more, and you get a huge win streak because you have a bunch of 3-star astrals or like really high starred astrals in general. But you can no longer get that now. But if you're able to do that, I guess it was fun while it lasted. Now onto small changes. So Assassin critical strike chance is being buffed a tiny bit. So they're giving some compensation for Rengar at 4 Assassin. Cannoneer cannon shot damage attack ratio is being buffed at 3 Cannoneer, and then Darkflight bonus health is being nerfed at, I think this is 8 Darkflight. Now onto Guardian max health shield. you are getting a small buff at 6 and 8 Guardian, I believe that is. It's very hard to get to those numbers, so that'd be funny to see. But let's move on into the units tier 1. We have Ezreal Mystic Shot damage is being increased at, so they're buffing Ezreal, Nasus, and Wukong 3-star variations, but they're nerfing Karma slightly. Okay, so they do have some compensation nerfs for the Dragonmancer scaling AP, but they nerfed Karma slightly, so that's good. Probably a decent change. It encourages other Dragonmancer comps to be played. They're also saying ensure your Donkey Kong has a Death Blade, so maybe they did the math and Wukong 3-star actually is a thing. I doubt it, but we'll see, right? Because they did nerf 5 Jade as well. He might work in like a 4 Warrior 5 Jade comp, maybe something like that. I'm not really too sure. But we can feel free to experiment and try to get Wukong 3-star back in action, because we haven't seen him in like so long. Units tier 2, Lilia watch out damage is being buffed at 3-star. I actually did like one reroll Lilia game. It worked out, but I got it because I did a recombobulator, so I guess that's cheating, right? The center bonus damage is also getting a slight damage buff at 3-star as well. And then Lux buff at 2 and 3-star, and the secondary damage is being buffed as well. Did Lux really need buffs? I'm not too sure. I guess Astral was slightly weaker, but I don't know if they necessarily needed buffs. They are really small though, so maybe it doesn't matter. Kai'Sa Tidal Burst missile damage is being increased at 3-star. Maybe Kai'Sa needs more than that. I'm very surprised that Kai'Sa Lagoon reroll comp was never really viable this set. I think it's a shame because I don't know if this is enough to really make that a possible thing. But onto units tier 2. Nunu consume damage is being buffed at 3-star. Rakan disarming diversion shield amount is being buffed at 3-star. So they're buffing all the 3-stars here. Seraphine nerfed a little bit, and then Sylas buffed at 3-star. Does Sylas 3-star really need a buff? I guess he does, because most mage comps, they need a real tank, and if you do hit that, you should have like a real tank after that. Units tier 4, other than the Swain buffs, all the changes below only impact units at 3-star. So Graves, 3-star Graves nerfed. Hecarim buffed. Jace. By the way, 3-star Hecarim's insane because he CCs for like 8 seconds. Jace being buffed at 3-star, and then Nyla nerf at 3-star. I wonder why Nyla had a nerf and all the other ones had a buff. I understand Graves getting a nerf though. Maybe I'm tilted because I lost to a 3-star Hecarim. That's how I know he CCs for 8 seconds, because I looked at the unit because I couldn't believe my unit still didn't cast after so long. Because it literally is 8 seconds, and in a TFT fight, 8 seconds is an extremely long time. Shioyu Jade form % damage reduction is being reduced at 3-star, makes sense. Swain is having a small 1 and 2-star buff, and then staying the same at 3-star. Yeah, that's fair. I do think that Swain should be a better unit for Dark Flights, but he just hasn't really been that great. He's like coming up because Rengar was good last patch, but with the Rengar nerfs, you really need something else in your Dark Flight comp. Xayah Feathers Fly, buffed at 3-star, and then now onto units tier 5. Shyvana Dragon's Descent damage is being... Wow. Okay, that is triple buff. And the stun duration is, okay, tense. I guess you just win if you get Shyvana 3-star. I actually wonder what the best 3-star legendary is. I'm pretty sure it's Soraka, because she heals you 70 health or something like that, and then she eventually just auto-kills the enemy team. So I think she's the best unit in the game, but maybe someone else casts before her so that she doesn't cast at all, in which case that unit would be the best. Terra, Earthquake, Armor, and Magic Resist damage is being reduced at 3-star, and then do they really need to do this though? Like, who is getting 3-star Terra? And then if they do, why reduce it? Zoe, Spell Thief, Kale's Intervention bonus armor and magic resistance is being doubled at 3-star, and then the Janna Howling Gale is also getting an attack speed buff duration increase to 5 seconds to 30 at 3-star. And then onto items, Zeezerot Portal no longer has a maximum taunt range of 4 hexes. It will now taunt all units that are in range to attack the holder. That makes sense. I actually wonder why it wasn't like that to begin with, now that I see the change in action. Modes, Hyperroll, don't really care. It's just like adjusting for prep. Mobile friends list chat is now on mobile. Okay, so I've noticed a trend in a lot of games now where they try to remove communication. Like League of Legends does it. In the post-game lobbies, you don't see chat right away. You have to like opt in to see the chat. I get it because people are going to flame each other, but I feel like losing a lot of social interaction is like killing a lot of like the fun in some games. But obviously TFT, no one really chats with each other, so TFT is a little different. But like I just hate the trend of like every game going like, oh, no chatting because someone's gonna get triggered by something that someone said, or like, oh, there's a lot of flaming. But like there are also positive interactions that you'd miss out on because of that. And I don't think like the bad actions of some should remove good actions of others. Bug fixes, dodgings, fix a typo in Jax's tooltip. Zyro will now pick randomly between rows that are tied rather than always choosing the farthest row or the nearest row in each fight. Oh, so it's set for furthest and nearest at random points. Doesn't this mean random? I guess this is only for if like 3 rows are tied. Wait, someone please decipher what this says, because if it's either farthest or nearest, wouldn't that be kind of random also? I wonder which conditions were for furthest and nearest. But Jace no longer fails to gain his abilities resistances if his initial cast completely misses. Shyvana no longer fails to cast with 2+ attack range. She can now cast as long as enemies are within her flame breath range, which is roughly 4 hexes, and then reverted the Cannoneer bug fix from last patch that allowed the cannon shot to work properly with Celestial Blessing. Is this created issue with Whisper Cannoneers? Yeah, okay, so that one a little irrelevant, I guess. But thinking of the changes from the top, obviously the biggest change is probably the ones to Rengar and Siphon, and I guess Soam to a certain extent. I still think the Dragon comp's still going to be good, like the Aoshin, Terra, Fast 9 comps. I think those are still going to be good. Dragonmancer will be interesting to see. Maybe people go more for like Volibear carry. I doubt it, but I like the more creative Dragonmancer builds. Maybe like I've seen Dragonmancer Gnar do really well. It's really fun. I've seen like all sorts of cool Dragonmancer kind of stuff going on there. Like if you ever get the emblem, definitely try something that's like not Karma or Lee Sin. Though I do really like Lee Sin in general, so I'm glad that they didn't actually like nerf him individually. They did nerf Karma individually, but Lee Sin's still in check. But overall, like I don't really know what to think about this patch. They nerfed a lot of like the weird stuff that goes on in the game. So even though this was like a pretty big, I guess another big change is the guild nerf, because guild emblem and stuff like that was way too good. It's still going to be good, but it's not going to be like super OP. I think the average placement for like all the guild augments was like 3 point something or something like that. So maybe like if it's closer to 4, then obviously that's a good thing. But overall, like they didn't nerf it that much, so it's still going to be pretty good because it was like super broken before. But overall, I'm kind of indifferent about this patch. I don't feel like that strongly about any things, but I also didn't like yell at Riot for doing anything wrong, right? I'm trying to think of what I even want in a TFT patch nowadays. I guess it's just nerf the strong comps, buff the weak comps, but Kaisa and stuff, I don't think they're going to be strong enough. Wukong, I don't think is going to be strong enough. I was wrong last time. I said that Jade buffs wouldn't be enough to make Jade a thing, but it turned out I was wrong. I'm not always right about everything, you know, but I feel like most of the predictions are easy to tell because it's like they buffed a complete garbage unit by like a tiny bit. It's not going to make them meta all of a sudden. Same when they do like a very small nerf on something, like this guild thing. It definitely is a nerf, but if you get guild emblem or like guild crown or whatever, it's still gonna be a really good thing to have. But again, I feel like this patch just got rid of all the like weird edge case stuff, like you can't get double built different or double trouble. And it's like, yeah, whenever someone got that, they literally had a free top 2. So they got rid of that, but those didn't happen that often, I would say. So it's obviously like a good change, but I don't think it's anything like game breaking, you know? But let me know your thoughts down below on what you think the patch is. And also don't forget, tell me who you think the strongest 3-star legendary is. Again, my money's on Soraka, but maybe someone casts faster than her and kills her before she's even able to do that. So let me know down below, and also let me know if you were able to test any of these to see which would actually win in like a 1v1 scenario. But that's going to be it for me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this patch rundown, and I'll see you all on Friday for the Meta Snapshot.